This is most definitely going to be a current events video that is not going to be anything more than maybe a minor time capsule in the future into the mindset of a madman, me. I am not angry at Spider-Man No Way Home. I actually made a video about this, I don't know, probably a month ago, talking about how I thought it was silly that people are really angry at this movie before it comes out and putting a lot of their expectations on the movie prior to it coming out, right? Movie is not out. That is worth noting that at the time of this video, there is no movie in theaters. Nobody has seen this yet. But as far as the marketing goes, this is something I've had a problem with Hollywood and gaming for the last decade at least. And that is running their stuff like it's Area 51. I do not understand how you can simultaneously be so horrible at keeping leaks from getting out, but also so stubbornly stuck on not showing anything in your trailer. Now, I don't want the ending of the movie. I don't want to see the key pivotal scenes of the movie that are going to lose all of their dynamic punch. It's something that I hate about comedy movies. Whenever you see a comedy trailer, they always show you like the funniest jokes. So when you get into the movie, you're like, oh, half the movie's not funny anymore because I've heard this. I already knew what to expect. But we're going the other route with Spider-Man No Way Home because apparently we still refuse to show Tobey and Andrew in any capacity in this trailer, even though we are now fully marketing off of their names, actually, because they do straight up in the new trailer released for Spider-Man No Way Home have Doctor Strange talk about how all of the villains that have crossed over into Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man's world were fated to die at the hands of different Spider-Men. They are already essentially dead, but they were clearly pulled out right before that happened or somehow resurrected right after dying. I am not sure to what extent because, again, the movie's not out, but I am not angry at this movie. I am annoyed at the marketing around it. I do not understand why with leak after leak after leak and Photoshop after Photoshop after Photoshop and fake after fake after fake with nuggets of truth in each thing, we still can't show these two characters. We still can't show anything with Andrew or Tobey. Why? Why are we hiding this at this point? We're even talking about their Spider-Men in the trailer, about how their villains like Doc Ock or Green Goblin or Electro were fated to die at the hands of other Spider-Men, and now they're here, and now they're Tom Holland Spider-Man's problem, and he has to find a way to send them back or get rid of them. I don't know how exactly there is a rift in this trailer between Doctor Strange and Peter. My assumption is that Doctor Strange wants to send them back, which would essentially kill them immediately, and Peter is not exactly looking forward to killing a villain or a handful of villains or being responsible for people's death right after he sends them back, even if they were originally fated to that outcome. That's what it seems like, but we're now getting into talking about the multiverse. We're now getting into talking about each villain and talking about their fate and talking about how they're connected to the other Spider-Men. But we still can't show those Spider-Men. I know that there is an immense amount of hype around this movie. I'm not saying there's not. At the time of me watching the trailer at night from just the Sony Pictures Entertainment account, not any other account, there was over 4,100,000 basically views on the trailer. And that's just what we see on YouTube. If you know anything about YouTube's back end, when you are in Creator Studio, your numbers are ahead of what the public sees by probably about 30 minutes to an hour, meaning this thing is probably hundreds of thousands of views higher, if not a million, when I talk about it. There is hype around this movie, and I'm excited for the movie. Going back and seeing Alfred Molina as Doc Ock again. Awesome. As long as it's handled well. I always throw that in there. Awesome. I'm excited. Seeing the return of even Green Goblin or Electro, but this time he doesn't look like the blue M&M. This time he actually looks like, a human being. Seeing things like that, cool. I'm in. I want to see this movie, and I am excited for it. I actually am. I would say to anyone who's like super hyped about it, you're going to want to stay off of social media because this movie comes out for some reason earlier in the UK than everywhere else, meaning that people there will be posting things all over the internet because they're still butthurt that they lost the Revolutionary War. But, they'll be posting it all over Twitter and letting you know exactly what happened in the movie. Might want to stay out of there. but I'm just really tired of things being run like a huge secret. I don't want to see the ending, again. I don't want to see the big pivotal plot points, but the point of these trailers is to hype up and also to give you an idea of what to expect. And people know that they are expecting Tom and Andrew and Tobey to team up. They're expecting Peter Parker from the MCU, from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man universe, and from the Webb Amazing Spider-Man universe. They're expecting those three together, at least to some extent, at least in the third act of the movie. Now, you can say, well, that's their fault for expecting it. You can say, well, some of these people have denied being in the movie. But there have been leak after leak after leak, and it's been proven before that employees, sorry, I'm losing my mind here, in the MCU are supposed to shut the hell up and not spoil stuff. Tom Holland has gotten chewed out for this before, reportedly, for accidentally spoiling things. Same with Mark Ruffalo. So these guys have to not talk about it, right? That is one of the parts to them having this job is, hey, don't go and spoil the movie. Don't go and say a bunch of stuff that we don't want in the marketing, because we don't want to lose a bunch of money by people going in with the expectations you gave them, or you blow the expectations that they had so they won't pay for a ticket to see it. That's already known. But the marketing itself with the MCU is just like the marketing with everything in Hollywood and everything in gaming, where they have to play fast and loose and pretend that nothing's going on when it is. They have to always try and like pull the wool over your eyes to surprise you. It's the Rian Johnson attitude of like, I subverted your expectations, therefore my movie is good. That's not how it works. You know, if everybody goes into this movie expecting Andrew and Tobey, and I personally do 100% believe they are in this movie, and they turn out not to be now, it is going to be a shit show. Like, people are going to be so mad. And like the MCU Spider-Man with a lot of people is already on thin ice. I personally am like the one person in the world, apparently, who loves the portrayal. I love the connections to Tony Stark. I love how they did it. I love things like how in Homecoming, Peter says, you know, I'm nothing without that suit. You can't take it away from me. And Tony says, if you're nothing without the suit, then you don't deserve to have it. You know, saying essentially, calling back to Iron Man 3, where Tony himself has to prove that being Iron Man is more than just putting on a big tech suit, where he's able to infiltrate a military compound. It's essentially more of a house, and take out a bunch of guys just with things he built out of a child's garage. You know, they tie those thematic elements together well, and I really like the MCU Spider-Man. I like Zendaya's MJ. I don't care that it's not Mary Jane Watson. I just do not care at all. I love this portrayal, okay? I'm not shitting on this trailer because, oh, it's an MCU Spider-Man hater, long live Tobey. No, I like this one. I've liked all of them in different ways. I even like Andrew Garfield. I really do. I don't like Amazing Spider-Man 2 very much, but I think as Spider-Man in that movie, he's pretty good. He grew on me a lot more than he was in the first one, and I've liked what each actor has brought to the table with this. I'm even excited for something like Spider-Man Freshman Year, the cartoon. But man, oh man, the MCU is on thin ice with a lot of people. It has been since Iron Man was gone, where people think, there might not be a lot of direction to this. It seems like they're introducing characters just to put certain types of people in roles versus tell a story. A lot of people are saying, it doesn't seem like they have any narrative arc to do with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. It seems like the first parts of it revolve just around finishing Tony's arc, and now it seems like it's revolving around possibly bringing in the multiverse and not actually focusing on him. What I'm getting at with all of this is, why would you, when your good faith is dwindling, when it's slipping, when the Eternals came out and was critically panned? I don't like critics. I don't think they know anything more than you or me for the most part. But they hated that movie. And it was very divisive with fans, too. When you're having this up and down period for the MCU where good faith is slipping away, why in God's name would you just decide to not show the one thing that would hype everyone up to the moon to get their butts in the seats and see the movie? I don't understand it. I'm so tired of it. This is why I don't pay attention to the marketing around these movies and games and all this stuff, because at the end of the day, they don't want to tell you anything about it. You might as well just go in blind and not watch any of the trailers, because they digitally manipulate them. They add in scenes, they cut things out, they use CGI to move characters around. Remember the fake Iron Man shots in Homecoming? You guys remember that, where they'd show Iron Man flying alongside Spider-Man? That scene was never in the movie. They do all kinds of stuff like this in order to change your perceptions going in. And with that, it kind of makes me wonder, what is the point of having any perceptions going in? What's the point of even paying attention to the marketing if they show you nothing? I don't know. It's irritable to me, or irritating, I guess, because I'm so tired of every trailer and every tease being handled this way. It's basically like a better kept secret than most of the stuff the government does in the United States. And yet at the same time worse, because they had 5,000 leaks. I don't get it. I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Almost said description. I can never get away from that. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content. I'm still excited for Spider-Man. Maybe I'm being an entitled fan, or whatever you'd say in quotation marks, for wanting to see something more, but I grew up with every iteration of this character, was the oldest with Tom's, and, to see this hype build up over and over and over again of we'll finally see them, but then not. It's like the biggest kick in the balls, and it's definitely on purpose. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please be sure to check out everything in the description, including the secondary channel, Degenerate Plays, where I hang out, play games with you and my friends, and have a great time. We've also got all kinds of other stuff down there. A Patreon, if you want to support the channel in any way. It means the world to me, and get access to exclusive content, actually approaching 100 exclusive videos over on Patreon. And also, we do have a side project that we run. It's actually my wife's main thing, which is Enchanted Glamour, where we sell jewelry and accessories for people of all ages and all genders, backgrounds, everything. There is something there for everybody. Check it out if you want to support the channel, but get a little bang for your buck, and impress that girl or man or other person that you've been looking at from the backyard through the window. Maybe flash a little Enchanted Glamour piece. I'm just saying, your chances go up. Have a fantastic day. As always, everyone, stay shway.